You're watching Local 7 WTVW with Shelley Kirk, Greg Parker, meteorologist Ron Rhodes, and Laura Kirtley. From Eyewitness News, this is Daybreak Extra.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Good to have you with us this morning. Our movie guy, Jim Hunter, right here. He's joining us from USI, and he's here to talk about some of the new releases that are hitting theaters on this holiday weekend. Jim, thanks for being with us today, man.
Sure.
All
My
right,
pleasure.
We got Terminator Genesis. Here we go. Arnold
Yes.
Schwarzenegger, he's back.
He's back as
He's
the
back.
Terminator. He is back
I'll
as
be
the
back.
Terminator.
Well, how's
He's
that movie?
joined. It's one of these films that seems really clever until you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's an action ride. It's a thrill ride. It's fun to watch. Arnold Schwarzenegger is joined by Emilia Clarke of Game of Thrones fame, and Jai Courtney, who viewers might also be familiar with from one of the Die Hard films.
Okay.
And it's an action movie that packs plenty of thrills, plenty of good fight choreography, plenty of good stunts, but some of the plot doesn't really hold
Is there
together.
anything specific that separates this one from the previous three that a lot of people are used to? Because I've heard that there's some different kind of twists involved with the Terminator character.
There are, actually. When I watched it yesterday, and as I was watching it, for the first act of the film, I thought it was a reboot. I thought that it was going back into the 1984 timeline and just doing the same thing with different actors. But in the second act of the film, it switches up, and Arnold Schwarzenegger actually plays a Terminator that was sent back into the 1970s to prevent an original attack on Sarah Connor.
Okay.
And then Sarah Connor is transformed into the action hero, a female action hero that is actually taking more charge of Kyle Reese than Kyle Reese is taking care of her.
Okay.
What we saw in the 1984 version. So it's an interesting sort of flip of gender roles and a flip of what the action film used to do in the 80s and early 90s.
Okay, well,
So
it seems like an interesting movie.
it is.
All right, we got to get to some other kind of action.
Indeed.
The action that a lot of women out there will probably enjoy. And this is this is the sequel to Magic Mike.
Yes.
XXL.
Magic Mike XXL.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm
the
ashamed
boys
to
are back.
admit that I saw the first one. It was
Yeah?
on HBO. My wife and I had nothing better to watch, and I thought it was a little ridiculous myself.
Well, I think what made the first film really, really successful with its audience was Steven Soderbergh, the director,
Right.
and Matthew McConaughey, one of the lead actors. Unfortunately, McConaughey and Soderbergh are not back for the sequel, which might disappoint some Magic Mike fans. It is now directed by Gregory Jacobs, who's a good friend of Soderbergh and worked under Soderbergh for a while. We pick up the story 3 years later after the original Magic Mike, and it's a kind of road movie. I read one review in which it was called an almost plotless party, which might be fun for some of its viewers out there, some old Magic Mike fans.
But it's quite a show, I guess, if you're ready
It is.
to go for that party.
Indeed. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, moving on. We've got one that I'm really looking forward to seeing. It's
Me
called
too.
Love and Mercy. And if you're a Beach Boys fan, you got to check this movie out.
Absolutely. Love and Mercy. The first time I was actually on this program, we talked about the Oscars, and it may be that if we talk about the Oscars again, we'll be talking about Love and Mercy. Paul Dano and John Cusack reportedly give amazing performances in this film. It's also Paul Giamatti and Elizabeth Banks are in it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And is this kind of a movie where John Cusack plays an older Brian Wilson, and is he
Yes.
kind of retelling his life, played by Paul Dano, who is a younger Brian Wilson?
Actually, there are two moments of crisis in Brian Wilson's life. One when he's in the Beach Boys and first gaining fame, and then the second one is when he might have a remission of his of a mental breakdown.
Okay.
So it's not just John Cusack as the narrator, it's John Cusack actually dealing with some issues in Wilson's life as well.
And we're really short on time. We've got about 20 seconds left, but this last film is called Dope.
Hidden Gem, it's only showing at one theater, and it's only showing at one time, but I recommend that you give it a look. It's an interesting film. It's a film that we're not used to seeing out of Hollywood, and it's a film that is rare.
It looks to be an independent film.
It is.
Okay.
It's not from major Hollywood studios, so.
Okay, wonderful. Well, a lot of good movies that are either out right now or set to come out. Check them out. We want to give a big thanks to Jim Hunter for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Jim, always a pleasure to chat with you. We're now going to check in with Miss Laura Kirtley, see what's going on in the Birthday Club.